In terms of tackling security, there is lack of political will.
Beyond the headlines.
Who are the sponsors of insecurity in this country?
From breaking news to everyday conversations, this is where Nigeria's conversations begin. We track the issues shaping Nigeria and the world today. The world is talking, and we're listening. This is Trends on LJE News.
Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Trends on LJE News, where we bring you the latest and developing stories in and across Nigeria and Africa. My name is Omotola Adeleke. And of course, we have our guests in the studio. We have Mr. Shedrack. Mr. Shedrack, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
The always outspoken, don't ever intimidate me, Mr. Shedrack. Mr. Shedrack, I want to ask you a question. This cap on you, is there a traditional interpretation to it? Because it's rare. I don't think I've seen this kind of cap before. Is it attached to your tribe?
Definitely is a tribe owned by the Akko people, and by extension, people from Abriba area of Abia State also adopt.
Oh, you're from Abia State?
No, I'm from Cross River State.
Okay.
It's a cultural cap.
Okay. Okay, you share boundary with Abiriba?
We have similarities in our cultural heritage.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Shedrack. You're welcome once again, by the way.
Thank you for having me.
We also have Barrister Meme, someone who would also not let you trample on anybody's fundamental human right. You're welcome to the show, sir.
It's my pleasure being here. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Mr. Chidi, this is the first time I'm saying Mr. Chidi. I've heard so much about you. I've heard... Let me not say this one, but it's positive, so don't be scared. All right, so but you're welcome to the program, and I hope we expect your impactful opinions on the program.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
All right, so don't forget to follow, like, and share on all our social media platforms at LJE News. So let's quickly run through our headlines for this edition of Trends. Rivers Chief Judge says no to panel investigating Governor Fubara. Amaewhule heads to court. Oshomole knocks VAT opposition, says food is now too cheap and tax evaders should face jail. I Show Speed says Africa Tour is about culture, not influencers, after Pella's desperate attempt in Lagos. Greenland PM draws red line on sovereignty after Trump claims total access deal. Outrage in Taraba, a 17-year-old girl allegedly slashed after rejecting advances. So let's get to the lead story for today. The Chief Judge of Rivers State Justice Simeon Amadi has declined a request by the State House of Assembly to constitute a judicial panel to investigate Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu over alleged gross misconduct. In a letter dated January 20 to Speaker Martin Amaewhule, Amadi cited subsisting court orders restraining him from receiving or acting on such a request. She said the injunctions served on January 16 remain valid and must be obeyed, in line with constitutionalism and the rule of law. The Chief Judge referenced a 2007 Kwara case where a similar action was voided for contempt of court. He noted that an appeal is pending invoking the doctrine of least pendens and stressed that the legal constraints have effectively tied his hands. Meanwhile, the Speaker has vowed to take the matter to the Court of Appeal. I'm going to face Mr. Shedrack first and foremost. Mr. Shedrack, don't you think at this point in time, especially with the action of the Chief Judge of Rivers State, don't you think we should just face gentlemanly agreement? Don't you think Fubara, the House of Assembly, should just resolve this case in a gentlemanly way? Because, of course, this might affect governance in Rivers State generally.
Well, I thought you actually started this session examining our lawyer.
Of course.
No, but it's okay, because I will just bear my opinion as a public affairs analyst in this case, or as a Nigerian who is suffering from the squabbles of misleadership in the country. On the Rivers issue, the last time we said we want the Constitution to play out. It's a constitutional matter. The issue of impeachment, and there are procedures and processes. One of the processes is what is playing out. It has left the table of the legislators to the Chief Judge, who must act. The Chief Judge has acted by saying, no, I can't flaunt existing laws. So whatever it is, I thank God the speaker is not threatening to use hoodlums, but he's going to approach the court. Let the court have its way. But my deeper, regret in all of this is where governance is left untouched to the people of Rivers State. I am pitying one man, the Governor Fubara, because there are legacy projects of Amaewhule, legacy project of Nyesom Wike, but we can't find any legacy project of Fubara at this moment. And I know the Rivers people must not be dribbled for any political solution. By this time, they should allow those people to fight. Why they go shopping for a right candidate where they don't have, they have to elect the candidate by themselves who will govern them and deliver dividends of democracy, as opposed to one man, electing the governor.
So you're not the type who would advocate for a gentleman.
No. A gentleman agreement is anti-democracy. It's selfish. It's just for a group of persons, cabal, so to say. So let them allow the constitution take its course. Whoever is booted out, let this young man go. If he's guilty, and let the speaker elect himself as a governor, and of course we'll face the
all right. Barrister Meme, let's even come to think of it. If Governor Siminalayi Fubara has nothing to hide, then why should we have court orders, stopping, the investigation of gross misconduct, which has been leveled against him if he has nothing to hide?
Obviously you can see that in most cases the courts in Nigeria use as instruments to halt legitimate processes by virtue of section 188 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which empower the House of Assembly to proceed on impeachment processes. And we saw what the order by the courts, restraining the chief judge from receiving or further taking actions to constitute panel of inquiry. For me, that is to the extreme of taking this issue, because no court has the constitutional power to stop
an investigation
process, because first and foremost, the impeachment process is a process. It takes beyond what we can imagine. But the most important thing is to unravel the allegations leveled against the governor, in this case, and the deputy governor. So I seeking a court order restraining the chief judge from receiving or constituting a panel of inquiry, to further investigate allegations leveled against the governor, for me, is ultra-vires.
Okay. Let's get to Mr. Chidi. Mr. Chidi, I believe I asked Mr. Shedrack and Barrister Meme this question before now, especially when the case of Wike and Fubara came up on board. I would want to ask you, is this issue just about gross misconduct? Is it just about governance in the state? Are we seeing politics playing in this? Are we seeing external factors playing in all this event happening, especially as it concerns Rivers?
The most important thing is not about governance. It's not about due process per se. It's about external factors. It goes to expose.
So you're saying it's not about the issue of gross misconduct the House of Assembly are leveling against Siminalayi Fubara?
There is no issue of, for me, there is no issue of gross misconduct. If there was an issue of gross misconduct, it's been taken care of by the 6 months, in quote, illegal suspension of the governor. And they had what's it called? They had an understanding, with the president, and this president called Wike because it's obviously a political godfather issue. It's not about the good of the people of Rivers State. It's about the political ego of Wike and his grip on the political relevance of Rivers State to his ambitions. You understand? So it's not about governance. So for me, it's the beautiful thing about this is that it exposes what APC is all about.
So are you saying Siminalayi Fubara should not be investigated?
Why should he be investigated in the first place? Let us not forget how this story come about. Because the idea behind this, it was the reason why there was a 6-month suspension. So if recall that, why should we just forget, Nigerians, how this whole thing happened? Because it seems as if, one of those headlines we forget. The Rivers State issue started because this whole due process, this whole issues were issues that were brought by the former in quote, the formal PDP-led House of Assembly members, which the current speaker was a PDP member, and then he decamped, and then from that onwards, we begin to see issues coming up, and impeachment was the first thing that came up. And Fubara had to say, no, you can't impeach me. And there was a tussle back and forth. You are aware of this, including the interpretation of the constitution as to, so many things happened. And then from there, we went into suspending Fubara.
But quickly,
and then there was an understanding that Fubara should allow this whole thing to happen, and then there was a reconciliation that allowed. So why are you still going back to this?
But Mr. Shedrack, he mentioned something. He said the suspension was illegal. Was the suspension illegal?
Yes, by the definition of the law, the state of emergency in Rivers State was illegal. But however, that for us as a people is not what we should concern ourselves about, because we have spoken about this in elevating individual status against strong institutions. Let us build our institution, give them power, and allow the power to work. If that is the case, we'll not have issue questioning the Chief Justice or whatever. Let the Chief Justice act on the impeachment notice on him and do the needful.
All right. Barrister, as a legal practitioner, do you think that suspension was illegal?
Of course, we said it here, and nobody had the power to suspend an elected governor. And like we said,
not even the president.
Not even the president. So the same immunity that covers the president, the same immunity that
covers the governor. Okay.
And we have repeatedly said that not even the governor has the constitutional power to suspend a local government chairman. So these are sequences of law. Right? So the president has no power under the law. He has the power to initiate the issue of state of emergency, as it were, but not to suspend the governor.
All right. So let's move on to the next story. Former APC national chairman and Edo North Senator Adams Oshiomhole says recent economic indicators show President Bola Tinubu's reforms are yielding result, citing claims that food prices are dropping. Speaking on Wednesday, Oshiomhole said it was ironic that some Nigerians now complain food is too cheap, while opposition figures allege the government is manipulating prices. He argued that this development could form a strong re-election campaign point for Tinubu. Oshiomhole also defended the president tax reforms, describing them as progressive and pro-poor, with a heavier burden on high-income earners and exemptions for low-income Nigerians. He stressed that tax evasion should be treated as a criminal offense, insisting that defaulters who refuse to pay or falsify records must face prosecution and jail time. Mr. Chidi, do you think food especially, is cheaper, especially compared to the income Nigerians are making?
Okay, I'll give you the response. Okay. I would quote the Nigeria National Bureau of Statistics.
Okay.
Says that there is 39.16% inflation, one of the highest food inflation in the history of Nigeria. I'll go down again. You see what the African Development Bank mentioned, that food prices rises by 39%. That is to say the least. Now, I can tell you that Nigeria, now according to United Nations, over 35 million persons in Nigeria are at risk of hunger. Now, the most important thing I know, in Nigeria, we see the statistics there. Nigeria is facing multi-dimensional poverty, one of the highest in the whole world,
which food prices reduction cannot even solve.
Exactly. So now, when you look at this, for me, it gives you that sense of the disconnect between reality and sensitivity of the people. Oshiomhole, his food in the house was never bought by his personal money, it was government money.
How would you know?
Oshiomhole is a senator. For crying out loud.
Okay.
Oshiomhole is a senator. And for how many years? He's been governor for how many years? For 8 years. All his life in political scene has never seen anything like he does not understand the market realities. And so it tells you how disconnect this crop of politicians and how selfish they are. If they can ignore the World Bank report, if they can ignore United Nations report, and Oshiomhole will tell you what happens in the US and the UK, I will refuse to understand that US and UK provide enabling environment for business to thrive.
All right. Mr. Shedrack, Nigerians are complaining that food is becoming too cheap by Oshomole. What would you have to say to that statement? Because, of course, I don't know, are you a beneficiary of food being too cheap?
Well, I think it's high time people of AMA begin to, create a category of award for some comedians, for which I think Oshomole will not be far-fetched as one who will be the highest winner of that prize. People deliberately I said, and intentionally, just to mock Nigeria, just the way Akpabio, the Senate president, once mocked Nigeria. We find a lot of political figures whose background were very poor, came from very abject poverty.
Are you talking about Oshomole?
And a group of people that falls under his category. It's not just about, that's why I quoted a former Senate president who said Nigeria should go on protesting while they will be eating rice and chicken. So there are a class of Nigerians that just for 20 years, for 2 decades, if they find themselves in a privileged position, they quickly forget about where they are coming from. Chidi have quoted statistics. I can tell you about 133.7 to 139 million Nigerians are facing multidimensional poverty. And what are the classifications? Access to clean water, sanitation, social amenities and infrastructure. So this is what defines the status of a people. But Oshomole will close his eyes to these realities. And we're talking about tax evaders. That's just pure criminality. So nobody is disputing that tax evaders should not go to jail. These are known common facts for which, if you allow the law to work the way it should work, most of them will not be in office today.
All right.
We know the hospitals he built in Edo State, and some of those things that are questionable, including the schools that the state confiscated from him. In a sane society, Oshomole should not be in the Senate.
All right, I see you're getting very emotional. But let's get to Barrister Meme. Barrister Meme, Oshomole was the former chairman of the National Labour Congress. Of course, would expect he should fight for the people. Would expect he should, or perhaps it's been sincere. I don't know. But what do you think about this statement? But especially related to the fact that he should fight for the people as the former National Labour chairman.
Well, Oshomole has never fought for the people.
Even when he was the chairman of the NLC.
Oshomole is known to be a serial liar. And this is what you see.
Wow, that's strong.
Yes, Oshomole is a serial liar. Oshomole has never told a truth all his life. Even when he was the governor of Edo State. What is his achievement in Edo State? Oshomole has brought even the worst set of people to govern Edo State. Look at what is going on in Edo State today. The D7 governor. Now, that is not even the issue. When I listened to the comments made by Senator Adams Oshomole, I felt so embarrassed. As usual, these are people who are obviously taxing Nigerians, taxing poor Nigerians. And if you look at the pattern of this new tax law that they are now celebrating, those that are in power, what is the tax law all about? Already Nigerians are paying their taxes in different dimensions. Now what they introduce is to tax Nigerians based on what comes into your account. Is it irrelevant whether the money that comes into your account is from business proceeds or from relations who pay money into your account? These are the things they are celebrating today.
But you said they are celebrating it. Isn't this going to affect them? Especially as elite in the society. These are wealthy men. In fact, according to the new tax law, they are saying the poor people are going to benefit more than even these big guys.
Sorry. If you want me, because I feel emotional.
Okay,
I feel
quickly.
emotional. Yeah. So because for me, it's affecting my mental health to hear this, and this is exactly the wrong disinformation, because it's no more misinformation. You have thieves who steal billions, and you tax them 20% of the billions they've stolen. And you have poor people whom you go to remove their life, take their life away from them, take away their existence, and the essence for which they live for, that you never contributed to their welfare. You don't even contribute to anything that pertains to their health. You don't even contribute to anything that pertains to their food inflation. You don't even address anything. In fact, you give them insecurity, and there are no social nets, there are no palliatives, there's hunger in the land. And even you're going to squeeze out life from them, and you're taxing them. Even if you tax them for 1 naira, look, they make an example of United States and other countries. I'll use United States as an example. The US president, Donald Trump, He's saying that he will what? Give $2,000, at least $2,000 to poor citizens of the United States, and that's to tell you who loves his country.
All right.
And then what are you doing in Nigeria?
All right.
You're removing life from them.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chidi. Because of time, we're going
have
to take
2027 election coming.
We are going to take a short break, and when we return, we will bring you other stories, especially on this episode. So just stay with us and keep sharing this stream. We will be right back.
Camera rolling. Light set. Sound check. And action.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's program, a program where we get to talk about the daily affairs and legal issues with intent to educate.
This is the perfect space to create professional quality videos, recording news, podcasts, and all media content. With top-of-the-line cameras, studio lighting, soundproof spaces, we provide everything you need for a seamless shoot. Our fully equipped studio ensures high-quality production every time. Enjoy a comfortable, air-conditioned environment with professional-grade gear and expert support. Contact us now or visit our Abuja location to reserve your spot.
Welcome back, and of course we're going to take a closer look at some of these other trends. But before I go to the other story, Barrister Meme was still trying to make a point on Oshomole, who said food is becoming too cheap and Nigerians are complaining that food is becoming too cheap. So I want you to complete what you were saying the other time.
Yes, it's very important for Nigerians to begin to know their enemies, and Oshomole is one of the prominent enemies of an average Nigerians. How on earth can a senator make such a comment that Nigerians are complaining that food is too cheap? Like, on what parameters?
But is food not becoming cheap? Because the other time federal government were jubilating that we had 75,000 naira for a 50 kg of rice, but now it's been reduced to 55,000 naira. Is that not considerable?
So what's the cost of a plate of food? I mean, when you buy bag of rice, are you going to just eat the raw rice? What's the cost of
other ingredients,
your gas and the rest of them?
Minimum wage.
What's the minimum wage? How much is a Somali driver earning? I mean, it's high time we begin to look into the profile of this set of people. This is a man who was the national chairman of the ruling political party, the APC, who didn't have the guts to rule out if they even have programs in that political party. And today he's a senator. They are rejoicing, they are happy because they are extorting Nigerians. And
all right. So quickly, let's move on to the next story. This is going to be on entertainment, as American streamer Darren Jason Watkins Jr., popularly known as I Show Speed, has responded to criticism surrounding his Africa tour, clarifying that the visit is not centered on influencer collaborations. The reaction followed viral scenes from his live stream in Lagos, where Nigerian TikTok streamer Habib Hamzat, known as Pella, repeatedly attempted to get Speed's attention but couldn't. Pella's actions, including trying to climb Speed's vehicle and later riding a horse through traffic, sparked widespread debate online, with many describing the scenes as embarrassing. Addressing the backlash, Speed said, "The Speed Does Africa Tour is designed to showcase African culture, street life, and overlooked talent, not established creators." He added that his movements are tightly scheduled and that abandoning planned cultural engagement for last-minute collaborations would be disrespectful to host communities. Quickly, Mr. Chidi, let me ask you this question firstly. Do you think Speed intentionally ignored the young man Pella?
The answer is simple. I would not tell you a yes or yes.
Because we have a video. Quickly, let's play.
Yes.
Let's play a video where Pella came up on board before I Show Speed came to Nigeria, where he was saying some things. Let's quickly listen to the video.
Okay.
I Show Speed is coming to Nigeria. See this one. Come and test me on Instagram. Say I Show Speed is coming to Nigeria. That all those ones they say I should speed. They don't go help person follow and talk. We know maybe if he come himself, we go say I should speed. Maybe just leave I should speed. Maybe leave him alone. I swear. They leave I should speed. If you come to Nigeria. See this one, come and test me on Instagram. Say I should speed is coming to Nigeria. That all those ones they say I should speed. They don't go help person follow and talk. We know maybe if he come himself, we go say I should speed. Maybe just leave I should speed. Maybe leave him alone. I swear. They leave I should speed. If you come Nigeria every day, family.
All right, so we've heard Pella. Now, Pella was caught saying if I Show Speed comes to Nigeria, it's probably not going to pay attention to I Show Speed. He gave an example when he sent messages to I Show Speed and I Show Speed ignored him, that if he comes to Nigeria, he's not going to hustle him. Of course, we saw when he started hustling him. So do you think I Show Speed ignored Pella because of that particular video, or perhaps he just wants to focus on people in the communities who are not celebrities rather than influencers?
The only thing I can say to you, for you can take this to the bank, is the fact that first of all, it's not just about Pella. Pella represents people who are not consistent with what they believe. And when you're not consistent with what you believe and you contradict yourself, you get rewarded, and it's going to be very brutal. Pella, there's a video you played it where Pella said, look, I don't care when he comes, I don't need, and he comes around. Yeah, you can really say, okay, if I go see him, and you went to see him and you did not find him, he did not welcome you, you tried all. So that's a contradiction. So for me, and then you see those I Show Speed meet, even on that country tour, he meets celebrities. Let's not get it twisted. Even in Nigeria, he met Jarvis, was that, and then he met other
ex, perhaps.
Well, I don't want to go into that. So, but the most important thing is that he met people who has lesser influence than Pella. Pella has more. He's one of the biggest in Africa. I mean, Pella, one of the biggest streamers in Africa. So, but for Pella to to show desperation, it's a sign that people see you, people watch you, people read your inconsistency, people read your contradictions, and you get rewarded negatively for it. So it's not a good sign for Pella. Pella should, and then there are some videos that people criticize Pella for being unnecessarily egoistic, and I think it serves people like him well. You need to grow up and learn to be humble.
All right. You talking about growing up, Mr. Shadrach. I was going through X and I saw someone made a statement that these are the kind of people we make celebrities, and that is what you see when you make these kind of people celebrities. They embarrass the country, perhaps because these are influential people, and make other countries look at us as desperate people. Would you want to believe in that assessment?
Not at all. People don't actually understand the show business and the business of entertainment. We must understand that controversy is a live wire when it comes to.
So are you saying Pella is enjoying what's happening right now?
It's not about him enjoying. This is his source of livelihood for God's sake. He built a career in entertainment, and controversy is a live wire. People should understand that they must create these scenarios to be able to cash in. That is what makes sustain their livelihood, and stop measuring on minor issue and minoring on major issue. For me, they take out with I Show Speed's tour, especially his case in Nigeria. It's very simple. These two guys were born in 2005. They're both separate of 5 months. Why I Show Speed January 21, Pella is May 10 of the same year. You can see two nations. I celebrate America. He's a guy who built his career in 2001 at the age of 11. I'm talking about I Show Speed now. 2016 was when he opened his YouTube page. In 5 years from that time, he became a millionaire at 16, bought his mother a house. And then today he's 21. 10 years career, he's a multi-millionaire and have done well for himself. What is the takeout? Can we find that enabling environment in Nigeria where a child born in 2005 without a college degree will be celebrated worldwide? That's what we should be looking at. In Nigeria today, 3 weeks ago, people were bashing Pella. Go and buy yourself a JAM form because he was ditched by his girlfriend, who is an undergraduate. Come on, a young man who has defined a career for himself
doesn't need a JAM form. You are saying he doesn't need a JAM form. So are you saying school is scam?
School is not scam. Education does not mean you must go to 4 walls of institution. We must build
enabling environment for people, data should be accessible, cheap, so that in the comfort of your room, if you cannot afford your child to go to the best of college, you can enable your child to still learn while at home.
All right.
This guy, I should speed, attended Ohio digital learning. It's not a degree awarding institution, but what happened? They are able to measure on your God's given talent, and of course, Nigeria must create an enabling environment. You can't say that for people in Brunei. But
before I go to barrister, you know, you're saying data should be easily accessible, but sometimes you go on social media and you see some kind of things, especially teenagers do with data.
If they do so in America, come on, we must not define the environment and everything around.
So we allow folks to thrive.
If you have 10 Nigerians who become I show speed, the impact to this nation will be more than 1,000 people who are doing a job. And so we must not capitalize on the negative, and now we put down the rest.
All right. But barrister, within 60 seconds before we go, do you think bad controversy is also good controversy, especially with this issue with Pella?
Well, for them, these are content creators, and it's the job that they have taken for themselves. And I'm not so much interested in having conversation around what they do, because that is what they do for a living.
But don't you think these guys are influencing people? If, for example, Mr. Shedrack is saying, Americans do it as well, like he said. But if it's influencing kids out there in a bad way, don't you think it should be stopped?
Well,
why not create content that impacts people positively? I'm just asking.
There are people who create content that impacts positively. There are others who also create contents negatively, both in the immoral aspect and the rest of them. For them, I don't think I would really sit down to watch some of these content created by
someone like Pella.
Yes.
All right. There's no problem. Thank you very much, Barrister, for that. So that's it for today's edition of Trends on LJE News. Now, of course, many thanks to Mr. Shedrack. Mr. Shedrack, thank you very much for coming around, of course. Mr. Chidi, we appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you, sir.
And the barrister, thank you so much for your brilliant insight.
Thank you very much.
All right, so to our viewers and listeners out there, make sure to follow, like, and share at LJE News on all social media platforms, of course, to stay in the loop and join the conversation ahead of our next show. My name is Omotola Adeleke. See you next time. Bye for now.